Okay, we're doing section A. We're gonna do a page, 8 by 8 page. It will be inserted in a 8.5 by 8.5 album, and I am using Sicily or Sicilia by Ciao Bella. Sicilia, it's called. Okay, it's a beautiful, beautiful collection. This is it, Sicilia, and I'm using a 112 by 12, the 12 pack, which is the main pack. I'm using one A4 and one 6 by 6. So yeah, we'll do a few pages, have some fun. And, I already went ahead and cut all my papers to size. I inked them. Let me just turn the light on. Okay. Already went ahead and inked everything. And I used a little bit of blue. Use Faded Jeans by Distress Oxide Faded Jeans. And I used, let me see, I'll pull it out. Chipped Sapphire. So usually when I start a project, I just pull a whole bunch of different inks that can enhance the colors, and so I don't always ink just the edges. Sometimes I will go in and ink inside, and I like to switch around the colors. For example, I'll take Spiced Marmalade, and let's chip just a little bit here, and I may go in, you know, maybe a little bit on the edge, just give it a little color. You know, I may just decide to go inside just to give it a little bit of something. So I just pulled my inks and I put them on the side, and they're right next to me, so if I want to pull it, I pull it. And it's a combination of some colors, and a lot of times I'll go in with a darker brown just to give the edges a bit of a definition. Okay, so that's done. And I also taped all of my pieces. And of course I wrote all the measurements, so I will mention the measurements to you as I will put them together, as I put the parts together. Okay. Okay, so the base page is always 8 by 8 on one side, and then I have on the other side, it's a 9 by 8 that is scored on both sides. I put them together so that one will be one page, and then when you turn it, the other side will be the other page. So when I say number 1 as a base, I'm talking about the base for the particular page. Okay, so A1 is the base, and it's 8 by 8. To that, I'm going to be adding a flap, and since it's the first page and it will open this way, I'm going to put the flap on the right side. Okay, so this is my right flap, and then inside the right flap I have another flap, and over here I have 2 left flaps. It's going to be kind of a fun page. Alright, so on the top of my page I don't really have anything else to add. So this, I can just go ahead and put this for now. Alright. Since it is the first page, I like it to keep it plain. glue. Am I missing something? What am I missing? Oh, my pick tool. Okay. Okay. So as you can see, when I tape it all around as close as possible to the edges. Okay. This is A3, and A3 is going to be a little top pocket. This is just a little solution to cover up. I have a little pulled paper here. It just got stuck on some double-sided tape. So I'm just going to cover it and put some at the tack pocket here that I can tuck photos in here. Okay. And I already put the tape there. And right around there. Okay. So you can take a photo and just tuck it there this way. Okay, so this is going to be my top flap that will be sitting right on this right there. Right over here. So we can go ahead and attach it. Removing part of it, just the corner, and I'm aligning it to make sure that it is aligned straight. And when I'm happy with it, I tuck it in and pull the rest of the tape. Okay. So this is my A2 flap. This is 8.5 by 8. After you scored 1/2 inch, you have 8 by 8 flap. Okay, so the next section that I have cut out is this one. This is a right flap. It's A4. It is 6 by 7 7/8. And I scored it 1/2 inch on the 6-inch side, so now I have 5.5 by 7 7/8. The reason I didn't do it 8 is because I wanted it just a teeny bit less than the edges, just a little bit. Yeah. So this will go over here. already went ahead and prepared a little magnet there, and what I plan on doing, I'll show you my plan. So this is a flat pocket. This flat pocket is A8. It's 2 3/4 by 7 7/8, and it will sit right here. And this magnet will attach, but it's a very small and weak magnet. It is not a strong one. I just wanted enough so that it will keep this flap closed. So I don't want to cover it. Okay, I have it here, it's ready, but I'm not going to cover it. This will go here. I'm sorry, here on the right side. So this piece here is A4, and it is 5 5/8 by 7 3/4. I'm sorry, it's 4 5/8 by 7 3/4. I can go ahead and put this on the right. I don't have any plans for this side yet. A little bit of liquid glue, not a lot. Make sure you have it in the right side. Okay. And over here I'm going to have like a little belly band sticking out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and first put this on, because I'm going to cover it with solid cardstock. I'm going to glue just the 2 edges. Over here at the edge of the page. Okay, on the back side of it, I planned on just taking solid cardstock in white and in blue and just alternating. And what you can do to give it interest later on, you can put some fussy cut somewhere, add some line, add a little bit of interest. If you don't have that, you can trim the corners, you can round it. I'm going to leave it just like that. So I'm going to leave it like that, and then later on I will embellish it with something and to add a little color. So I'm just putting these things here just to make sure that I'm attaching it on the right place. I don't put liquid glue on this white paper because it's, I don't know, for some reason it shows a lot more on white. It does not show on the other cardstock paper, but on the white it does, and I don't like that. So usually what I do to avoid it is I just put double-sided tape from my Teresa Collins tape runner. Okay. Put a little bit of that, and it will take care of the problem. Now remember, I have the magnet here. So first let me remove it. And I want to trim the corner, which I should have done before. Oops. Okay. Let me see. Okay, here's my small punch. I just want to punch a little bit of the edge here. Okay. So this will go here. A little liquid glue underneath it, and I don't want to put anything on top of it. I want to put this around. This is just plain copy paper, 20 pounds, thin paper, just enough to cover the magnet, but it will not interrupt it. Okay, that's good. Punch at the corner here as well. Okay. Okay, I'm going to apply the flap to the edge of my other flap. Okay, so this is A4. I put it on the right side of A2. It's not A2, turn it right and again to the right. And over here I have the pocket. I'm gonna do the same thing with the magnet here. Let me just make sure it is still in the right place, and it really is. So take this off. And I'm going to cut a circle. Punch it and then it fell. So let me punch it again. Okay. And I'm really doing just enough to keep it in place. See, it's very, very, very light magnet. If I cover any more, it's not going to work. So I have A8 pocket. This is 3 by 7 and 7/8, and I have this piece that's 2 3/4 by 7 3/8 that will go right over the pocket. So I want to punch out the little circle that goes around the magnet. Okay, so I'm going to try and find a position. And the center. Center it. Okay, so go ahead and punch it out. Here's my little punch. And this will leave the magnet exposed. Oh no, we barely see it. Okay. Just gonna put the glue around my hole. And put it down. Okay, so my flat pocket is ready to be applied. I have already put tape on 3 sides. It's a 1/4 inch double side tape. Okay, and I'm going to make sure that it is where it sits. So first I attached it to the magnet right there. Because it is a small magnet, you really want to make sure that you position it, the magnets, correctly to each other. Okay. And here we go. So this is just enough to keep this flap closed. Okay, good. So now I have the back of this part right there. I have A7 to go here, and A7 is solid cardstock, 4 by 7 and 7/8. Then I have this little strip that I had left over from this piece that I cut. It's the back side of it. I'm going to use that because it has some more colors. Okay. All right, so it is a little shorter, but I think what I'll do is maybe I'll put it, I'll align it with the bottom, and I'll leave this here to put again some element that I fussy cut here or something, you know, maybe a saying, maybe a ribbon. I'm gonna just leave this like that. So I'll align it with the bottom. I just love this blue, this shade of blue. It's so pretty. And I'm going to leave a sliver of space there so that the cardstock will come through. Okay, I'll just clean up. So now this is my pocket. And this closes. For the base, I have 2 flaps, and I have some white cardstock that I cut. And to use white cardstock is a really good way of preserving your paper. And also, when you have a pattern that is very busy with other colors, you know, you have a blue and you have a lot of busy patterns here, it's nice to just calm it down with a solid color cardstock. And it's very common to use white in place of where photos can go, because then you know, it tells the customer or the user, if you're giving it to somebody, where they can put the photographs at. So you can also put a stamp of a camera. So remember, I don't put liquid glue on the white. So I cut 4 pieces of that. It is a little shy of 4 by 6. So this is the flap itself is 6.5 by 4. So when you scored 1/2 inch here, you have 4 by 6. So the white cardstock is just a little shy of that, to just give it very, very thin trim. If it's difficult for you, You can add a little more, then do the white cardstock at 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. Okay. So this is one. This is my second one, and notice I'm doing it on the bottom. This is the flap here. This will be the bottom, or side B, or reverse side. So these two will go here. On the other side, on side A, I opted to do 4 by 4, or 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So it's a bit shy of 4 by 4. And this is one. And where's my second one? Supposed to have 2 of them. Okay, I have one, 2. Where's my second one? I don't know where my second one is. Oh, here it is. Okay. Just going Okay, so I put it all the way by the hinge, or by the wing. But you can reverse that if you choose. Okay, now we have 2 parts that are 1 3/4 by 3 3/4. Put it on the other side of it, like so. You're going to do 2 of them. Okay, so these flaps are A9. Okay, repeat the measurements for you. 2 flaps A9, 6.5 by 4. You score 1/2 inch on the left. You're going to add 2 pieces of 3 3/4 by 1 3/4, which are these, and you can do different. If you want different patterns, I chose the same one. And then you're going to have 2 white cardstock that are 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. These 2. You're going to have 4 white cardstock that are 3 7/8 by 5 7/8. So out of the 4 white ones, we put 2 here. We have 2 more that we're going to put 1 here and 1 here. And then I have A6 is 1 7/8 by 7 7/8, which I will apply right there. Okay, but before we do these, I'm going to put the flaps onto here. And they're going to be side by side. So because they're 4 by 6, I just want to make sure that I'm putting it right in the center, and they're not going to interrupt each other, and they're going to align perfectly. Okay, so this is 1. Let's do the second. Excelente. Okay, so now we have the 2 flaps in place. Let's just iron it and make sure that it's on there nice and tight. This is where 1 is going to be. This is where the second is going to be. And this will go right there. Okay, and another way that you can make the white cardstock a little more interesting is to add with a marker. You can add a border. Just take a marker, either with a ruler or do freehand, and add something around it. I still haven't decided if I want to do it or if I don't want to do it yet. And for now, I'm going to leave it like that. I can always add it later when I see the album finished. Okay, again, this is my A6, 1 7/8 by 7 7/8. And if you're not sure, if you don't remember the measurements, just put it next to the pages and, you know, take out from the borders. Make sure you have some room in the borders. Let me do it this way. And you'll have your measurements.